zijn live ondertussen. En het geluid komen we zo wel achter of het werkt of niet. So where were we? Day 47. £10,409.
On a Saturday.
It's 7:15 p.m. Our master is not very happy right now.
Nope.
Singapore was a British colonial port. People developed largely by Chinese, Malays and Indians, and fueled by rubber exports and opium wealth pouring into the new banks. So we're in Singapore.
Yes.
Okay. It seemed a dangerous spot to linger, or I walked along the harbour fronts.
The second one.
I walked along the harbour front and spied brightly painted airships and well-rigged boats heading for distant ports. I inquired about vessels headed for Manila in the Spanish Philippines, the eastern Australia town of Brisbane, or the Dutch-held city of Batavia.
Dutch, of course.
We are Dutch, so we're going to Dutch Batavia.
Of course.
And the Chinese sailor pointed me in the direction of a sailboat, which bore the rather insalubrious name Spicy Jake. I wouldn't go to Batavia even if you pay me a king's ransom, the sailor chuckled. Why is that, or I'm not asking you to?
I am not asking you to.
I'm not asking you to. I turned away from the impertinent fellow and his unsolicited advice. The tailor shook his head in annoyance and slopped away. Your character is now again organized.
Yeah.
What was that route? Oh, that's to Batavia.
Yep.
Let's see, we are in Singapore. So, what you reckon?
Yeah.
This is a long way away.
I will go further down.
Further down to
Yes.
Batavia.
Yes.
Arrives Monday. It's now Saturday. Yeah. Tomorrow at 1 p.m. Agreed?
Yes. So then we will go to sleep.
We shall sleep here.
Geen
Yes.
cover.
And he can recover a bit. Before turning in for the night, I afforded my master every
Yes,
service.
because he's low on his...
Yes,
You need to
it's
see.
a bit better.
Now he's happy again.
Relations with Fogg have strengthened slightly. Passepartout, perhaps you can think of something. I feel somewhat below par. Well, how about we make a trip?
Yes.
Let's embark. Higher extra space?
Yes. Ah, look.
Linen trousers. Okie dokie.
Look at that.
Go.
The only boat we could find from Singapore heading through the Pacific Islands to the fort of Batavia was the Spicy Jig, a Dutch vessel crewed by decent men of fortune, of course.
Decent men of fortune.
We're Dutch. I'm not gonna call them pirates.
I gulped with alarm, but we did not stay ashore. Let's converse. Greetings, Captain Taharanagama.
Sounds very Dutch, right?
In Indian Dutch.
Yeah, that's...
Passepartout, do not be downhearted.
Let's talk about Batavia, Manila.
Manila. Speaking of steamships, I understand I had a friend who lived in Burlington back when the Dark Queen to New Orleans became popular.
Honolulu.
We already know about that.
Yeah.
On the subject of airships, I've heard my aunt used to talk about the ice wind from New York to Reykjavik.
Okay. The
Pitcairn Island,
Yep.
which is in the middle of bloody nowhere. I know. Is it possible to go from Honolulu to Pitcairn Island? Seems unlikely to me.
Machu Picchu then.
Machu Picchu.
Yeah. Okay.
I must go.
English poetry.
English poetry. You are
You
too
want-
kind.
New Orleans.
New Orleans. Do tell me more about New Orleans. I could not possibly tell you anything about that.
Miami?
Miami. Is it possible to go from New Orleans to Miami? Look, you can obtain tobacco in Miami. You can sell for a profit in Washington.
That's Machu Picchu again.
That's Machu Picchu again.
What do they have against Machu Picchu? Hey. Yeah, rude.
Okay.
Look at that.
Oh, New York to... Ooh.
Hello.
Oh, that's Iceland. Okay, New York, Iceland. That's halfway around the world, isn't it? A quarter way. Anyway.
The atmosphere around the pirates was tense, to say the least. We made a special effort to befriend them, or kept ourselves to ourselves in the cabin below. The first one. We want information.
The atmosphere around the pirates was tense, to say the least. We made a special effort to befriend them, which essentially meant I sat up on the sun-soaked deck and asked them to describe their bloody adventures in the mountains and tree-topped ridges that we passed. They seemed keen to talk, or I felt they were making sport of me.
Keen to talk.
They seemed keen to talk. And their talk of throat slitting went on for many hours. I listened with a raised eyebrow and an expression of disgust. Your laundry bills must be immense, I commented.
What about your mortal souls? I do believe you gentlemen are pussycats. I wouldn't do the last one. If you want to die, you should do that. The first one. I think they can laugh about that.
Your laundry bills must be immense, I commented. Finally.
And the men fell into paroxysms of laughter, slapping me on the back. You, one declared, are a card.
Whatever that may mean.
Dat is een compliment. In piratentaal betekent dat ze je mogen.
Card. Okay.
Ja.
The second day began with the Batavia in sight. The captain came and found us. I apologize if my men have made sport of you, he began, in heavily accented English. They are children, cruel but kind-hearted. It is no matter, and get us to port without incidents, and the matter will be forgotten.
It is no matter.
It is no matter, I replied foggishly. Hey, that pun though.
Foggishly. The captain nodded. Thank you for your trust, he said. Many treat us traders as pirates, but we are merely businessmen. With that, he swept away. We made port a few hours later.
Aha, Batavia.
Yeah.
There we are. I think we can complete our valeting set here. For protection against strenuous conditions. Explore our markets.
Game sound is too high.
No, it's not. Market or explore?
You are sure?
Yes.
Because I don't come over very much.
Ja, ik kan nog wel ietsjes achter. Mijn stellen zo laag.
That's weird.
Explorer Market.
I explore, of course. We need more intel. See?
That's nice.
Exactly.
2 ways. Exactly the same way.
Not quite.
Brisbane and
Yes,
Auckland.
Auckland. We need Auckland because then we can go on.
Then we can go what?
Go on.
You're really... You want to circumnavigate the planet twice, or... Hey, whatever you say. Whatever you say. I'm all for it.
We didn't go around the world in ET. We didn't go all around the world yet.
No, I think we're a good halfway through now.
Exactly. If you go further to
Yeah,
Auckland...
you can go south, you can go east, you can go northeast.
Yes, but right now we're going south. If you're in South Auckland, you can go on the shorter term to the other side. Just like you did.
No, it isn't.
No?
Because we're already in the middle.
Yeah.
We're slightly in the southern hemisphere. Well, technically you're right.
Let's just watch.
The heart of Verhevenstad, the exalted city of Batavia, was floating forts of gigantic iron struts built over the swamplands of Kali Besar and overlooking the Sunda Kelapa harbor. It sounds all very Dutch to me.
Yes.
Dutch hotels, Chinese settlements dotted with Buddhist shrines, or I tried my best to ignore it.
The first one.
Dutch hotels and Chinese settlements dotted with Buddhist shrines pushed themselves up in the shadow of the walls, hemmed in by the sprawling, unplanned Javanese kampongs. I hailed a carriage to tour the city, or I went on foot.
A carriage.
I hailed a carriage to tour the city. The main mode of transportation within the city was the Harimau, whatever. A flat-bottomed steam carriage shaped and painted like a tiger. A fearsome-looking carnival carriage.
Let's go for the tiger. I like the tiger.
Tiger. With paddle wheel claws which allowed it to cross canals and navigate swampland. It was surprisingly comfortable despite its demonic smoke belching and scarlet enameled eyes. We kept to the European areas, we ventured further south, and we took the shortest route back.
Further south.
We ventured further south.
We ventured further south, careening through the lively fish market. Fish market of low-roofed stalls and strange delicacies. Dense settlements sprawled labyrinthine between the large Dutch colonial buildings as we went further from the walls. A huge explosion resounded to the north. The Harimau stopped. People in the street were pointing.
I questioned my driver, or I could not see properly.
I would ask the driver.
I questioned my driver,
Yes.
who merely sighed and said, "Rebels." I got out to look, or I waved at him to drive on.
Drive on.
We drive on. And so we turned about sharply, though the going through the crowds was slow. It was late by the time I made my return to the docks. I was more than ready to depart the exalted city. It was not so much floating, or it was clearly in terminal decline.
The second one.
It was clearly in terminal decline, as so many of these ill-conceived colonies seem to be. Market?
Yep.
2 in the morning. Peppermint tablet. Shaving kit, that's good for the valeting set. And the Panama hat. We are in a warm climate right now, aren't we?
Yes. So let's ditch the
Let's ditch the vodka.
yeah. Yeah.
Yes? Let's ditch the vodka. Let's take the shaving kit or the Panama hat?
No, the shaving kit.
The shaving kit, I agree. And can we get something else? Seasickness. Driving goggles.
Yeah.
I think we can lose the driving
Yes.
goggles. For the Panama hat?
Yes.
And keep it that way?
Yeah. Let's keep it that way.
Let's keep it that way. Let's plan.
Well,
Okay. And you wanted to go to Auckland. It's only 180 to Auckland. What? Arrive next Monday. It'll take us a week.
yes, and if you go to Australia,
Brisbane. Arrive Sunday. That's next week as well.
yes. And yeah,
Port Moresby, which we cannot go to for whatever reason.
we didn't get the plans. So
So when does this leave? This departs in 2 days, which we can negotiate.
yes, but the problem is, where do you go from there?
To Auckland probably, maybe to the South Pole.
So Auckland.
I don't know.
I would-
Auckland. It departs tomorrow and it takes a week.
Yes, and Australia could he negotiate, right?
And minus 41.
Mhm.
And this is minus 46.
Okay.
And this is a submersible. And it costs way more. And this is by ship. Here we can take 3 suitcases. And here as well.
I would
You
go
wanted to just
Auckland.
Negotiate it, or
No, Auckland.
it'll take us a week.
Yes.
Tomorrow at 11 a.m. So we'll have to spend the night.
Yes. Yes, a perfect place to rest. It's not another option.
We took a room at the Hotel des Indes. A fairly comfortable establishment overlooking the water. A perfect place to rest. Though through the window we heard the sounds of explosions and shouting long into the night. It seemed Batavia itself was not a comfortable place after all.
Yeah.
Well, then let's leave. Yes?
We're going to Auckland. Yes.
Plus 44. What?
We're actually gaining.
Yeah, he's gaining.
Just
He's
by
liking this.
a fine ship.
We met one Captain John Moresby pacing the planks by the docks near his wood paddle sloop, the HMS Basilisk. A fine ship?
Yep.
A fine ship, I remarked. She's a blowout, he replied, quite clearly angry. I'd have to rebuild from scratch if I could afford it. She is the worst ship Mr. Lang ever designed. Good luck with that one.
Who is Mr. Lang?
Who is Mr. Lang? I asked, confused. The idiot who put the main mast between the steam funnels. How well do you suppose a sail fares in the blow of steam? Ridiculous. This all seemed like dire warning after dire warning, or she seems sound to me.
Dire warning. I get it.
All but dire warnings. So I thanked him, and we quietly turned about and returned to the mainland to find a different way to proceed.
Oh,
You kicked us off. Or did you? Oh, we're stuck. What the hell, Explorer?
yeah.
You got us kicked off the ship! The streets of Batavia were no calmer than before. Well, lovely.
Now we can't go to Auckland anymore.
We can't even go. What?
I'm so sorry. And we can't go back, right?
Great work, man. You're a natural genius. Oh, wait, there's another one. We can go another way. We can go into Manila.
Yeah, well, let's do that. Because
It leaves tomorrow and it arrives Sunday. That's not too bad.
well, let's do that. I screwed the other one over.
The guy hates your guts now. We stayed another night. And then we depart. We're not going to Brisbane then, I guess.
No.
We're going to Manila. And we can hire extra space,
Yeah.
so let's do that. And plus 7. Oh, he really likes this climate, man. Captain Suprapto glared at us as we boarded his
you do
steamship,
this one or we get kicked off again.
and then spat over the rail with studies discourteously. We need the money, or I would not take passengers like you. Foreigners, you mean, or gentlemen, you mean?
I'm not gonna do this again. I don't want to get kicked off again.
You've been making all the choices.
Okay, let's do foreigners then.
Foreigners, you mean?
Yes.
I asked, looking about at the what? Looking at...
Predominantly Malay crew.
Right. Crew from Malaysia. He did not so much as blink. Strangers. He all but hissed. But before turning away, don't bring me trouble, he added, over his shoulder. Let's converse, shall we?
Yes.
Greetings, Captain Suprapto.
Okay, I wanna know from
Passepartout, you rogue.
Manila. Honolulu?
You mentioned airships. I've been told my mother always wanted to travel aboard the Henrietta from New York to London. It's a long way.
Let's see if he wanna talk about Machu Picchu.
I was just about to say, let's not ask about Machu Picchu.
Oh no, let's
Well,
go to
okay,
Port.
no, you said it. Seems
Seems
unlikely to
he
me.
answered. We could go to Auckland again.
Auckland?
We
Is it possible to travel from Honolulu to Auckland? Because the other way didn't work. I don't know, but the quickest way to Auckland from here is to go via Batavia. Well, we can tell you that's not a great idea.
Well, let's do
A marvelous idea.
Honolulu again.
Honolulu.
Yes, and now Port Moresby. Because
Have you heard that you can buy cotton flowers in Honolulu? You can sell for profit in Havana. Port Moresby. Is there a route from Honolulu to Port Moresby? It seems unlikely to me.
San Francisco.
San Francisco. According to my timetable, Honolulu is connected to San Francisco. On the subject of steamships, I've heard Lima can be reached from Santiago aboard the cargo steamer.
Okay, San Francisco, Las Vegas?
Las Vegas?
Yes.
Is it possible to travel from San Francisco to Las Vegas? I'm afraid I have to go now. Goodbye. Yeah, from New York straight to London.
So that's where we need to go.
That is...
Because then we get back to London.
Dang. We're on day 53.
Mm-hmm. It left me full of indignation, struck me as rather ominous. The last one.
It struck me as rather ominous. But the first day's journey was smooth and pleasant as you like. The crew were an efficient, quiet lot. But I felt as though they were hiding something, and Monsieur Fogg was quite pleased to be left alone.
The second one. I don't want
To
to
be
get
left
kicked
alone.
off the ship
Make
again.
calculations in his ledger.
Exactly.
Oh, that was a good decision.
Yeah,
Let's
let's
attend
attend
him. Superior valet. He thinks we're superior.
I
Wait.
was near climbing the rigging with boredom by the second day and decided to go explore the other decks. Tamp down on my restlessness. The second one.
Tamp down on my restlessness, remembering Captain Sir Suprapto's warning. You look quite ill, Passepartout, my master said, his voice betraying no hint of snidiness?
It's the same as being a bitchy.
Snidiness.
Yeah, just being a little bit bitchy. If I'm
Merely a hint of cabin fever, monsieur. Or I'm bored and fractious, monsieur.
the second one.
I'm bored and fractious, monsieur. I complained. My master gave me a steady look. Gentlemen are never bored, Passepartout, he remarked in stern rebuke. Yes, monsieur, I muttered, and went to walk off my frustrations. Relations have deteriorated slightly.
What a boring life does he have. No wonder he took a wager.
You're going to Manila. I clicked, by the way. I'm at your service, Monsieur Fogg. Is there something the matter?
Shaving kit?
Let's do a shaving. He likes that. Shave away and make it close.
Hairbrush?
Harris. Very well.
English poetry?
English poetry. A reminder of my school. It's very good.
Hey, he's 66 again.
Yeah, we patched him up.
We talked to Manila in the afternoon, and I for one was quite glad to see the back of Captain Suprapto and his unfriendly looks. The crew all but threw their bags down the gangplank after us and gave us only a perfunctory salute as a goodbye.
Oh, well, we made that one.
And we didn't get kicked off.
There seem to be no departures today. We should explore a bit. There's markets.
Nah, let's explore first.
New routes from Manila to Hong Kong and... Can't see.
City has recently suffered oh, there's only one option. Of a major
We
typhoon.
arrived at the Spanish government's capital of Manila at a most inopportune time. The city had recently suffered the depredations of a major typhoon. Ooh, poor them.
Yes.
And the efforts at rebuilding had been stalled by an outbreak of the dreaded cholera morbus. Oh, great.
Oh, really?
Lovely. It originated with sailors or images of Sun Rogue?
Oh. First one.
God bless you.
Got hiccups. No, it was a hiccup. I'm sorry, people. I had a barbecue earlier.
She almost threw up on his mic here.
I think the garlic got to me.
Yeah, well, as long as it doesn't keep to the mic.
Yeah.
So, it originated with sailors or
Yeah.
images from Sun Rogue?
No, sailors.
It originated with sailors of the steamer Aeolus from the nearby town of Zamboanga. That was the local rumor in any case. Infected establishments were burned daily by the sanitary board, with our hotel one
Of the casualty.
one of the casualties.
We relocated near to the telephone exchange.
Or the Pasig River.
When cholera, you don't want to go near a river.
I'm thinking it, and you're saying it. So
Yeah, telephone. We're not gonna stay near a river.
yeah, let's do that.
I mean, the river is actually like
Pretty bad idea.
yeah, you're like asking for it. Like, give me cholera. Yeah, yeah.
Near the telephone exchange, taking the mechanical horse-pulled tram. Concerned with the possibilities of infection, I ensured that Monsieur Fogg stayed warm, drank only boiled water, or ate from kitchens which had avoided all traces of the disease.
The second one.
Drank only boiled water. He'll burn his throat then, I guess.
No, you boil it and then let it cool down to kill the bacteria. Basic survival skills.
You're on.
As recommended by Jon Snow's article in the Medical Times and Gazette, going to the lengths of preventing him from eating any uncooked foods for fear of contamination. From our window I could see carts piled high with the dead being taken to the mountain to be burned rather than interred in a churchyard, which put me in a morbid frame of mind. I went to the local telegraph office and sent a message. It does not do to dwell on such matters. The second one.
It does not do to dwell on such matters.
Yes.
However, so I attempted to put the considerations behind me, but the city smells of disease, and I will be glad to leave.
Yep.
Well now, this journey is proving more tiring than expected. Margaret?
Yes.
Air sickness pills. Heavy storm set. Magnetic compass is part of the heavy storm sets.
No, let's keep
And
it
the
like we
monkey
have
wrench.
it.
I don't think we can sell anything here. Well, the shaving kit is worth something, no? But it doesn't look too great.
No.
Okay, let's give it this way. Hotel?
Yeah, plan first. Let's see what we can do.
Are we back in Manila?
We are in Manila, yes. Yeah, let's do Honolulu then.
$1,800.
Damn.
It departs tomorrow. It's an airship.
Yeah, but we
And
don't
it
have
arrives
18
Thursday. That's 4 days.
Yeah, so it's doable.
So let's spend the night.
Yes.
We can go to Yokohama.
No, we are at day 55. We shouldn't be
Okay.
going too much around.
Well, let's go to sleep then.
Yes. I attended to
We took a room and settled in. And
Well, it's at 71, so that's not. Let's
I
help
helped
the
the kitchen
kitchen
staff,
staff, yes.
or I spent a while talking to the hotelier.
No, the kitchen stuff.
I helped the kitchen staff to clean. Earning £40 in fees and tips. Our funds have gone up a bit.
That's never wrong. Yes, Honolulu. Yeah, there it is.
Honolulu, baby. Embark.
Well,
Yes?
yes.
Bam.
We boarded the Reina Cristina, a Spanish tourist Crufedo type airship. Its gondola shaped to resemble one of the infamous Spanish galleons of previous centuries.
Hmm.
And as richly outfitted. I wouldn't go for the miniature. No, let's go for the
And as richly outfitted?
yes.
With Philippine hardwood furniture, Fian silk curtains, and a lacquered ornament automata imported from China. My cabin resembled a fashionable salon more than an airship berth. Well, it sounds
Very luxurious.
very great. Beautiful.
Fuck, let's just do that.
You are most entertaining passport.
Yeah, we know. Our journey to Honolulu would take 4 days. The airship would refuel and go on without us. From there, we had other plans.
Okay.
Yeah, let's read the fuck again. The Filipino crew spoke a mix of Tagalog and Spanish, all mixed in with Lascar sailors' cons, which utterly fascinated me,
Utterly fascinated me.
though I did not have the skill to understand it. Don't bother trying to learn it, the captain remarked in elegant Spanish. You need a sailor's heart to do so.
Do you know it, or do you not think I possess one?
The first one.
Do you know it? I asked slyly.
I am the captain of the ship you are traveling upon, he replied, with a glitter in his dark, thick-lashed eyes. You should hope I have a sailor's heart.
I think you do, or I have one as well.
Nou, we zijn nog zoveel bezig reizen. I have one as well.
I have one as well.
I mean, I've traveled 57 days already.
I stepped closer, raising my chin in challenge.
To my surprise, the captain laughed warmly. Truly, he said, I meet the most remarkable people as captain of an airship. Yeah, converse. Okay,
Greetings, Captain.
yes. Why, good day, Passepartout. We want to know Honolulu and San Francisco. Because from San Francisco you can go to New York, and New York is going to London.
You can get from San Francisco to New York?
Of course, it's America.
I have the times for a journey from Honolulu to San Francisco in this pamphlet. On the subject of steamships, I've heard Buenos Aires can be reached from Asunción by river barge. But the journey is a tiring one.
Okay. San Francisco, Las Vegas. I think someone's been telling tall tales, okay. San Pedro?
San Pedro. Is there a route from San Francisco to San Pedro?
By boat? English poetry?
I believe so. San Francisco is connected to San Pedro by boat. English poetry. Most generous.
Buenos Aires?
Buenos Aires. Tell me about Buenos Aires.
Santiago.
Now they say that the last hotel in Buenos Aires is closed.
Oh, did you go now? Because now it's like for everything.
Santiago. Did you know collectors from Asunción will pay very well indeed for a candle scented of rose from Santiago?
Auckland then? Yeah, I know. Okay. Well,
Never mind that. You can buy harmonicas in Auckland extremely valuable in Port-au-Prince. Yeah, I don't see no line to New York. Okay, it's South America, okay. A portrait of King Amadeo the First hung in one of the relatively unused corridors of the gondola, from which I surmised that the captain was only indifferently devoted to his monarch, or which I was exploring in the hope of finding a secret or two.
the first one.
A painting of the Guadalajara harbor. That one.
Mm-hmm.
However, hung in pride of place at the dining card.
The Painter's Guild.
Is that where you're from, or the painter's guild? I remarked, and the captain blushed. I am the painter, he confessed. Guadalajara is where the Reina Cristina was built, at the army airship's works. I thought she should have some commemoration of her birthplace. Very sentimental of you, or is this an army ship? I asked, surprised.
The first one.
Very sentimental of you. The captain shrugged, unconcerned. We captains are a sentimental lot. Sentimental lot. Over dining, the captain told me about Honolulu, where we would stop on the morrow. I believe his telling it was all ripe-fleshed guavas and shark steaks, or it was a giddy paradise.
The second one.
Dang. Giddy paradise. That could barely be real. That night I remembered to adjust the pocket watch, as we had crossed the international dateline and gained ourselves a day. Oh, that's...
Dus we zijn nu over de helft. Want we zijn in een andere... I think. Honolulu Bay in... We arrived into Honolulu Bay in good time. And the crew landed us. Then deflated the envelope to reveal it. It was a while before we could retrieve our things. I watched them work. Their efficiency was most gratifying. Men and women swarmed over the balloon as it fell in on itself. Jumping clear at the last moment, swimming away on guy ropes that themselves were falling slack. Then we were finally discharged from our duty as passengers, and the airship lifted away into the sky. Now, we're in Honolulu. There seems to be no departures today. We should explore or market. First explore.
It was though Honolulu lived in one indrawn breath. A wheeling swath of sky, white-laced waves and pristine sand bounded by black volcanic bluffs. The town was entirely hidden behind groves of coconuts and eucalyptus. We took a short tour, or we rested in a comfortable palm-topped hut.
The second one.
We rested in a comfortable palm-topped hut by the shoreline, breathing the sea air and trying to shake the weariness of the road.
Market?
It's Smith and Wesson's.
Okay, we're going to New York,
Valuable
so...
New York, New Orleans, Panama City, accordion. Valuable in Panama City, Salt Lake City and San Francisco. Cotton flower, valuable in Panama City.
The accordion and the Smith and Wesson is a good thing to do. Let's do the pocket away. The pocket watch.
Pocket al Tim in here.
Yes. Let's do that away. And let's
You,
take
you want the
gun.
guns?
Yes.
The guns.
And the cotton flower is not where we're going, so no. Accordion, so we need a lot of space or an extra suitcase.
Or we can take the cotton flower.
Yeah, but Panama City, I don't think we're going there.
Probably.
The Russian we could leave. We're not going to Russian again.
The Russian train timetable.
Yes.
The accordion will take an entire space. Just say. You want to sell this?
Yes.
And sell that. Can do the neck cushion here. We need to drop one more item.
The seasickness pills we could...
Seasickness pills. Panama hats.
Yes, do we use the air traveler? Ginger tablets, what are those for?
Ginger tablets of interest to stubborn, sore and prim types. I don't think we have used that.
No, let's do that away.
Let's get that away, let the guns here. So we can take the accordion.
Yeah.
Our master will be pleased.
Oh, he doesn't have anything to say about it. That's new.
Darn! We can go from Honolulu to San Francisco, which arrives on Monday.
Yes.
And we can go to Panama City, which arrives on Sunday. This is tomorrow at 11 AM. And this is tomorrow at 5 PM.
So it's... I will go to San Francisco.
San Francisco?
Yeah.
Let's spend the night then, shall we?
Yeah.
He's feeling pretty okay now. With the last few hours of the evening, I afforded my master every service, helped the kitchen staff to clean, or I went out to explore a little. Explore a little. Where I saw a remarkably frenetic San Franciscan master in dramatic conversation with a local chef, from which I learned, or a confrontation I chose to avoid.
The first one, because we're going to San Francisco.
From which I learned a most peculiar detail about wolves.
Okay.
Right. San Francisco, embark. That's okay. Boom. A banana boat!
We boarded a steam barge from Honolulu to San Francisco. The scent of ripe bananas pervaded every plank of decking and bulkhead. A sweet and deliciously rotting odor which offended my trained senses. I rather became accustomed to the second
became accustomed to on the voyage, much of the detriment of my keen sense of smell. Wait, converse, fuck.
Converse.
Greetings, Captain. Passepartout, take my arm a moment.
Probably female then.
Hmm?
Probably a female captain then. Yes, it has a bar.
Time is ticking.
So, San Francisco.
San Francisco. They say that San Francisco is one of the most advanced American cities.
Yeah, Salt Lake City.
I believe so. You can get to Salt Lake City from San Francisco aboard the Transcontinental Express.
Okay, let's see that one again.
New York. On the subject of trains, I have heard my uncle visited Winnipeg back when the Canadian Pacific Railway to New York doubled its fare.
New York, Washington?
Washington. Absolutely. I knew a woman who designed parts for the Piedmont airline from New York to Washington.
English poetry.
English poetry. You are too kind.
Okay, San Francisco again?
San Francisco. The Americans are still recovering from their civil war, I hear.
Chicago?
Chicago. Did you know the fastest way to Chicago from here is through Omaha?
Atlanta?
You can ask about Omaha as well. Atlanta. Yes, my father worked in Chicago just after the Western and Atlantic Railroad to Atlanta was attacked.
Okay. Miami?
Miami. I believe so. Atlanta is linked to Miami aboard the Florida East Coast Railway.
I think we
Oh,
have.
we've learned a few things, I guess.
I think so too. Salt Lake City. Ha!
That's a lot. Nice. Okie dokie.
So, I was right about San Francisco to New York, right?
Yeah, in the end. Well, it's not a straight line though, but
No, but it is.
well, we could. But we'll see. So, some
Okay, with Angelica.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll read this one. Ark, I huffed, attempting to convince my mouth that I ate fried capers and potatoes at breakfast. Everything smells of bananas. Monsieur Fogg replied that he could not smell a thing, which I took to be his queerly English sense of humor at work. Still, if bananas were to be the worst of my troubles, I managed to finish my breakfast with my nose pinched shut. Well, we are going for the nose pinched shut. Hey, why doesn't it work? It's this one, right?
No.
This one.
Yes.
There we go. Shut. I had to keep up my strength for all this valeting after all.
Okay.
Let's converse again. Oh, I woke in the middle of the night, convinced that someone was in the cabin with me. I stayed very still and listened. I leapt up and charged towards the noise. This first one. There was a long wave-lapped silence until I heard distinctly a dragging shuffle. I opened my eyes and looked up. I lunged in the direction of the noise. The second one. Direction of the noise and hit something soft and person-shaped and familiar. Monsieur Fogg, I cried, and my midnight visitor blinked and straightened and looked about my cabin in genteel surprise. What? He said calmly, pulling his dressing gown closed. Am I doing in your cabin, Passepartout? You would know better than I, monsieur, scaring me half to death. I think we would go for the first one. You would know better than I, monsieur, I exclaimed passionately, rather upturned by his sudden appearance. He took a sharp breath. It seems I have been sleepwalking, he said, his voice almost tremulous. I have not done so since I was a child. Please accept my apologies. I will let him take his leave, or would you like to stay for a while? The second one.
Would you like to stay for a while? I asked.
Sensing his agitation.
Agitation, yes.
I am awake after all. He hesitated a long moment. I would like that. Thank you. Day 60, Monsieur Fogg murmured that night in his sleep, and still some distance yet to travel.
Mm.
Why, if we are being nice to him because he was sleepwalking and clearly a little bit in distress, we are deteriorating the relationship.
Well, I guess he didn't really like our invitation.
So the next time we should just kick him out and.
No, I guess our relations have deteriorated slightly.
It's a weird guy. Let's just say that. Normal people
It's,
would like that.
Character. Tell me.
Captain Kalani was a heavily pregnant Hawaiian woman who found Monsieur Fogg's English accents a source of great mirth. Say something else, she demanded over breakfast. Please, Mr. Fogg. I let her amuse herself. I distracted her with some idle talk. I will go for the second one. I don't think he likes it.
I distracted her with some idle talk, and my master cost me a grateful look. All in a day's work for a valet of my unimpeachable caliber. Relations with Fogg have strengthened slightly.
So it's back to normal.
So he's an anti-social guy, I guess.
Yeah.
He doesn't like anyone. Wait. Experimental hovercraft to launch from Yokohama soon. Well, we're past Yokohama.
Yeah. But we do get a new... Oh, so reading the newspapers is also valuable.
It's a newspaper. It's useless.
Yeah.
The fourth day aboard our barge passed quietly. Captain Kalani moved slowly around the deck, her profile jaw dropping large. When are you due, or when you give up captaincy? Will you give up captaincy once you are a mother?
Trust me, I'm a woman. Nobody likes that question, the second one. If we would give up something, that's no. So, the first one. When
are you due? When we dock, she breathed.
Not a day before, I should hope. The blush in her cheeks belies her excitement. It is a marvelous thing. Of course.
Well, for her, perhaps.
Pregnancy is a marvelous thing
For
women.
For her, okay.
We arrived into San Francisco without any further incident, so he's pretty much happy she didn't give birth on the ship.
Me too.
Let's just be honest.
Some of our possessions could be sold here.
How
Explore markets.
Margaret. Yes, that one.
This is
yes.
right?
Sal.
Yes.
No. What was it again? Oh no, that was it, right? This one is in New York, if I'm correct.
Yeah, New York, New Orleans, Albuquerque.
So, what's this? What are loaded dice?
Loaded dice.
Okay.
A set of dice, half of them loaded to sixes, half of them other ones. Part of the left of the law sets.
What is with these field glasses? They are yellow now.
Oh, they are worth something here.
Oh, let's sell them. And take the Smith & Wesson.
Another one?
Yes, of course.
Oh,
Make money, right? And we're... Yes. Valuable... oh no, we need to go to...
I think we're passing to Burlington. I'm not sure.
Yeah, let's take it.
I'm not sure. But it's a code as well, so.
Now.
Exactly how many guns do you think we need passepartout? Oh, explore.
At least we're not gonna get robbed now.
Oh yeah, that's a great idea. Let's go north. And San Pedro to Acapulco. San Francisco seemed less a city and more a ravenous beast bent on consumption of everything, even of itself. Within
Still
the
is.
ever-expanding city limits, enormous steam-powered drills and diggers flattened hills, or the building works made it tricky to talk to anyone.
Second one.
Such was the infernal constant noise. I sloped towards a recently constructed long bridge, which was crowded with families out for a stroll and people fishing for silvery smelt with long poles. In the water, I did not look around.
I did not look around.
I did not look around. A man, red-faced and somewhat the worse of for drink, bumped into me. I excused myself politely, or I shoved him away.
The first one. We don't want to have a
I
fight.
excused him politely, and he made an apology in return, slinging an arm around my shoulder. "Oh, hello," he claimed. "You don't sound like you are from around here." I gave him a freezing look. "You do not sound American either," or I hurried away.
The second one.
"You do not sound American either," I retorted. "No matter, I was Dutch once, in a past life. But now I am as American as President Grant. This is land of newcomers. Are you a prospector?" "I'm a traveler, I'm a magician, I'm a valet."
The first one.
"I'm a traveler," I said. "I'm traveling around the world." He laughed. "Oh yeah? I'm a Navajo chief."
What? He doesn't believe us. In those days, it was weird to travel the world around in 80 days because everybody thought that's not possible.
So he's a Navajo chief, okay. I insisted on the truth, or actually,
No, the first one.
I insisted on the truth, stretching out in brief some of my adventures with my master. "What? Really?" His eyes widened, and he slapped his thigh. "That's incredible!" A brown-skinned woman slipped her arm onto his.
Into his.
Whatever. Into his. I regarded her. I looked for an introduction.
I looked for an introduction.
I looked for an introduction, and the man smiled quickly. "Ah, my manners." He shook his ruddy face. I am Anders. I am Anders. And this is my wife, Jenny. That is a beautiful jacket. Pleased to meet you. Pleasure to meet you.
A pleasure to meet you.
A pleasure to meet you. I kissed her hand. She was surprised, but smiled. Always a pleasure to meet Anders, friends. She looked askance at the whiskey flask in his hands, but seemed to find me inobjectionable. You'll take it from here.
I hesitated, the obvious question about her origins on the tip of my tongue. "Are you?" I swallowed back the question.
I swallowed back the question.
Though clearly with a visible effort, for she laughed with full-throated pleasure. "I am of the Modoc tribe, what the new Americans call Indians." Jenny rolled her eyes. "I do not mind your surprise. Most of my tribe has been taken to the Klamath Reservation in Oregon."
What is a reservation, but you are not with them, or sounds idyllic?
I don't think you want to say to a Native American that it's idyllic where they were put. I would ask the first question. In those times they
What
didn't-
is a reservation?
Jenny looks at me with utter astonishment. "They are tracts of land where the first peoples are relocated. When the whites decided they want the gold, the silver, the coal, the buffalo in our homelands. Anders whispered something into Jenny's ear and she laughed. Though I feared I had opened an old wound with my prying questions. I nodded and found my way back to Monsieur Fogg, who was sitting drinking tea with a disconsolate frown. It tasted. It tastes like soap, he remarked, but would say no more. Well, plan, yes.
There, or there.
We go to New York.
New York?
Yes.
Straight to New York?
Yes.
Next Wednesday, dat is 1,5 week.
Negotiate.
Tomorrow for $1,000.
Yes, let's do that.
Tomorrow at 4 p.m. Still arrives next Wednesday. Let's spend the night.
Yes. I headed toward Chinatown to eat. It was a warren of crowded wooden and brick houses, temples, businesses, herbalists, laundries and market stalls, selling fruit and flowers. Brightly colored lanterns illuminated the streets. I regarded the people with some interest. I was interested in conversation. I wanted only to eat. The first one.
Brightly colored lanterns illuminated the streets, and little draconic automata spewing black smoke called the attention of my passerby to restaurants and gambling houses. Children played the games or a Chinese theater.
A Chinese theater.
A Chinese theater dominated one of the streets. Having been
imported from Shanghai and reconstructed in San Francisco. It advertised Chinese theatrical performances.
Theatrical performances.
Yeah, I did say it first time correctly.
Yeah, well.
Large groups of men stood around smoking, drinking green tea and calling to each other good-naturedly. I was rather out of place. I felt quite at home. Yeah, I like Chinese culture, so I felt quite at home.
I felt quite at home.
I had traveled around more than half the world after all. What was one more foreignness in such a foreign place as America? I decided to approach a young man with a queue ponytail, an older man in European clothes. The first one. Ponytail, who was lettering a sign in carefully calligraphy. I greeted him and introduced myself. His English was not perfect by any means, but for all that it was much better than my Cantonese. His name, he said, was Ying Huo.
Jing Hua.
How long have you been here? You have an excellent hand. The second one.
You have an excellent hand, I remarked approvingly. He shrugged. I must do anything I can to make a wage these days. He told me that he had been a laborer on a transcontinental railway laying steel till its recent completion. I looked around, realizing that most of the other men smoking and chatting were probably in the same predicament. Do you like it here, or what will you do now?
What will you do now?
What will you do now? Jing looked forlorn, though he quickly masked the expression with a wan smile. I came here for work, but now they say I can only work in certain places. I can only live in Chinatown, and I must shave my queue. What I can do? Shave your queue, then? Why do you make these laws? Why do they make these laws?
Why do they make these laws?
Why do they make these laws? I wondered, aghast.
They make these laws because they hate us. They want us to be American. But even if I shave my queue and pretend to be American, I will still have no job. So why would I? Jing shook his head. I am from Guangzhou.
Mm-hmm.
And I am American now also. Can I not be both?
A man cannot serve two masters, or your culture is important?
Your culture is important.
Your culture is important, I agreed. You should not give it up. Sing sighed deeply. Perhaps you're right. Go.
Up to New York.
We're going all the way.
Yes.
Go.
We were lucky to arrive in San Francisco just in time to catch the inaugural journey to the Transcontinental Express, which would take us to New York in 8 days, with only a handful of stops along the way. Verse.
Greetings, Monsieur Durance. Good day, mister.
New York, London. Maybe they have more there.
Keep talking.
Ah. Yeah. London, Lisbon? Think you're out of luck there, but tell me, I suppose you don't have any idea who my father is? What? Apologies.
Right. Oh, don't worry, you will.
London, Snowdon?
Snowdon.
Not sure really, but there is neither bank nor market in Snowdon. Okay.
Hmm?
English poetry?
Most generous.
Okay, New York. I want to know more about New York. Burlington. There's Burlington. I think you're out of luck there. No, Dallas. What a question. Still, you can pick up wax cylinders inscribed with music in Dallas. You can sell for a profit in Port-au-Prince. Okay, goodbye. The first day abroad was enjoyable enough. American trains could clearly not compete with their European counterparts, but it was amusing to see them try. The posters proclaimed Pullman's Palace sleeping cars, but they were more like places to keep cattle. And while not palatial, the first one.
Palatial. I have no idea what that means.
Nope.
But they were more like places to keep cattle. If reasonably well-to-do cattle. We sipped cool beer as we rattled through a long stretch of desert. In the shadow of tall mountains, I gazed out of the window or I tended Monsieur Fogg.
Let's go to Monsieur Fogg.
He will be pleased. I've strengthened slightly relations with Fogg.
Let's just wait.
That was right there.
Trinity Man Fogg attempts a round the world adventure. Yep.
Our fellow passengers were a curious mix of gold and silver prospectors, homesteaders, farmers from all corners of the world, Mormons, missionaries, soldiers, and stiff-necked gentry of various sorts. I gave a young black woman a deep red bonnet and an infectious laugh, a white smile or a nod of greeting.
A white smile.
A white smile. Her name was Diana. I am meeting my husband, Cheyenne, she told me.
Husband Cheyenne?
In Cheyenne.
Oh.
In Cheyenne.
She told me.
She told me. He did construction work in New York, but New York isn't safe anymore. We have enough money to move now. Why isn't it safe, or how long have you been apart?
The first one.
Why isn't it safe? I inquired. Innocently, having only the broad strokes of American news and history. Did you not hear of the draft riots here in Europe? Draft riots in Europe? She asked wonderingly. New York has always had Confederate sympathies, and when the Union began drafting New Yorkers, they rioted. They killed and burned black homes. My husband never felt safe since. But now we're moving to Cheyenne. She smiled, nearly glowing with happiness. Where else can one go but New York? Or I told some tales of my adventures.
The second one.
I told her some tales of my adventures, which seemed to amuse her greatly. As the afternoon wore into the evening and we passed by Ogden, Ogden, close to Salt Lake City, we watched as the passengers disembarked, or we jumped off the train.
The first one.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get off
we're
again.
we're not gonna get off the train again. We watched as the passengers disembarked, glimpsing fertile lands and well-tending ranches out of the windows of the train.
Wait. Hey.
Greetings, Diana. Well, good evening there, mister.
Nah. She doesn't have really New York, London.
New York, London. I heard of someone who always wanted to travel aboard the Henrietta from New York to London. No, really, monsieur.
London, Quebec City.
Quebec. Is it possible to travel from London to Quebec City? I would not hold out too much hope, monsieur.
Snowdon?
Can you travel from London to Snowdon? Probably, but the fastest way to Snowdon from here is via Reykjavik.
Reykjavik.
Yeah.
Wait, convert fog. Too late.
Today, a fellow with a painfully trimmed mustache and impeccable suit approached me outside the lavatory. I nodded at him companionably. I made way so he could pass by. Made way.
I made way so he could pass by.
But he extended a hand to me. I am Felix Granger, he said. You are a puzzle.
I was flattered, or I was utterly flummoxed.
The first one.
I was flattered.
Monsieur, moi, humble passepartout, I am no more a puzzle than the sun's rise in the east. Truly, I am the simplest of men. Oh no, do tell me how you came to be on the transcontinental Terrorby. Hangs a tale, I can tell, good sir.
It seemed a probing question, or he was merely interested.
I think he's merely interested.
He was merely interested.
I mean, he's a Frenchman all the way in America. That is, in
I
days...
didn't got that. He is a Frenchman?
Yes, Passepartout is French.
Oh, Passepartout is French, yes.
Yes, so, and he's traveling with... And he's traveling with an Englishman.
Hoe laat ben je weg?
Over uur of zo.
Dat is over iets meer dan een uurtje.
Zoiets.
Oud heel.
Ja, ik heb de telefoon bij.
AV.
He was merely interested in me and my adventures. And I
saw no reason not to enlighten him in great detail. His eyebrows raised higher and higher during my recitation. Then he said unsurely, This is your first time in America. Oh yes, or well,
Oh yes.
oh yes. Throw him to the floor. I grinned. A very strange place you will allow, monsieur. He seemed surprised. Are we so strange? He stroked his trim moustache. Maybe we are at that, by God. Well,
Okay.
welcome to America. America.
We stopped at Cheyenne, Wyoming for a few hours in the evening. The trim-mustached fellow disembarked to talk with a 6-foot-tall woman who wore the latest slim trains, skirts, and a pistol tucked into her waistband. We watched.
Yeah, we watched. None the wiser.
At luncheon, I asked one of the women homesteaders, a sturdy-looking prospector. I would go for women. Women like to gossip, right?
Women.
Homesteaders, who informed me that she was Esther Hobart Morris, a justice of the peace, and indeed the first one in America. She sniffed. Honestly, some women. What's wrong with being a wife and a mother? I ask you. The trim-mustached fellow boarded the train again before the last whistle blew, his face drawn and anxious. Wait. Mormon Desert Railway is faster, cheaper, drier.
Mormon Desert Railway is faster, cheaper, drier.
Really? Really?
No. Lovely.
Not really.
We were held up by outlaws.
They-
The woman with the gun is with us, right? And we have 4 guns, right?
We have 2.
A pair of 2.
Oh, okay.
Two pair of 2, right?
No, it's a Wesson and Smith. That's the
Smith-
name of
Smith-
the.
Yeah, Smith and
That's-
Wesson is a brand, but I thought there were 2 guns.
We have 2 guns.
Yeah, I thought we had a pair of 2. But anyway, there's a woman with a gun as well.
We have 2 guns, so 3 guns, right?
Which is, well... Would you mind...
They dragged 3 trunks over the line and forced the train to a halt. Before boarding, brandishing pistols and sabers, they went carriage to carriage, demanding valuables. I looked at my master, who was phlegmatic as usual, had a certain glint in his eye.
We have to think about our money here, I think.
Yeah, I would go for
Are we going to get robbed or...
the first one. I would go for, because he's a cold bastard.
Yeah, he is a cold bastard, isn't he?
Though I did not doubt that he wished a peaceful and quick conclusion to assist these outlaws' demands. The second one.
Yeah? Being a badass. Oh, being a man. Oh, it's the
Being
same
a
thing.
man with the deepest respect for the law. Lead Bandit fired his gun into the air. The name, he declared, is Jesse James. Now you give me everything you've got. The saber lifted to my throat. I moved to draw my revolver. I handed over my wallet. What else could I do? The first one. But the man knocked my hand aside. Let's all keep calm, shall we? He advised. I handed over my... yeah. Okay. At least I did not keep all our money in the same purse, haha. Monsieur James smiled a toothy smile and tossed me £10 back in return. Buy yourself new shoes with that, he said, as he proceeded to also steal my shoes. What? What the hell? At least he gives you money for your shoes. The worst robber ever.
The saber point moved on. Now it was at Monsieur Fog's neck. What about you? You look good for it.
I dreaded what Monsieur Fogg's response would be. I stayed silent. I jumped to his aid. The second one.
Really?
Yes. Allowing the master to handle the threat however he saw fit. Monsieur Fogg cleared his throat. I would trouble you to lower your sword, he said. I could stay quiet no longer. I listened fearful. The second one.
He is being a badass.
You trouble me, would you? Jesse James replied. Somehow I doubt you would. Monsieur Fogg stiffened a little. His eyes narrowed. I could see he was about to do something terribly rash. I swung for the outlaw with a fist. I watched carefully.
Monsieur Fogg was standing stiff as a post, the sword pointed directly on his Adam's apple. I have boxed for my country, he declared.
I could take no more of this. I covered my eyes. The second one. I could not watch. Just at that moment, a group of soldiers, headed by the trim-mustached fellow, stormed aboard our carriage, pistols drawn. Jesse James lifted his sword and held up his hands. "You will not take us hostage?" I jeered at him as he was led away. I watched curiously.
I was curiously as he led away.
Yes.
By the agents.
Then the steam engine restarted.
And we were soon on our way. Not much worse of wear, although our valuables were impounded as evidence.
Yeah, that's most like
That's our guns, probably.
Yeah, but most of the times you get it back later. At least.
Oh, it was impounded as evidence. We did not have time to wait for the case to come to trial. But the officers compensated us a little, to the tune of over £1,000.
Aye.
Oh, we're making money off this robbery. Oh, okay. A kind fellow passenger gave me a spare pair of shoes, and a few hours later we reached Burlington. We jumped off, or several passengers were disembarked.
Several passengers disembarked because we want to go to New York.
Clearly grateful to be off this dangerous train.
Yeah, we lost 1,000.
Your funds have gone down substantially.
Yeah, because you lost 1,000. Wait. San Francisco Chinatown riots. Ah, the guy listened to us. Today the entire train was quite subdued, recovering from the hold-up and recounting our individual experiences of the event. I recounted my own tale. I listened with great interest. Oh, the second one.
I listened with great interest.
To the other tales of small resistances. Indeed, if one were so inclined, one could find heroism in the most unlikely of places. Wait. Another victim of the Madras head smash We're happy we didn't go to Madras.
Right! Converse. Greetings, Felix. Passepartout.
There's not enough New York.
We can click this away, by the way.
London again, because there's nothing new. Yeah, Snowdown? I think you've gone the wrong way. Now tell me, do you prefer rain or snow? Rain. Are you quite sure you're not English? London, Porto Novo.
Porto Novo. Let's just say the quickest way to Porto Novo from here is via Havana.
London, Ponta Delgada.
Let's just say that the fastest way to Ponta Delgada from here is via Washington.
Okay. Goodbye.
Bye.
The train rumbled along towards the East Coast. I began to discuss with other passengers what we might expect to find in New York, how we might depart from New York.
I have to check something. No, we're still on.
Okay.
No, we're still on. Oh,
Okay.
I have to fix this. Right. What did you say?
Depart. How we might depart from New
How
York.
we might depart from New York. It seemed there had been a steamer to Queenstown in Ireland, but it had been run out of business by an airship company, which now made the same 8-day crossing in 3.
Ah, that's nice.
It seemed an excellent prospect, or I thanked my informant and went to return to Monsieur Fogg.
Yeah, the second one.
I thanked my informant and went to return to Monsieur Fogg, only catching a brief mutter of something as I walked away. Was there a catch? If so, I did not hear it.
We arrived late in the afternoon rather than the morning, owing to the delay caused by the hold-up. I felt a touch of fear as we disembarked. I felt strangely energized.
I felt strangely energized as we disembarked, and eager to explore New York. In the midst of what the American writer Mark Twain called "good old age," a city of glory and corruption, greed and industry.
And we're in New York!
The Smith & Wesson could earn as well here.
Yeah,
It
but
opens
it's
at
not
7
yet.
a.m. Let's plan first. Let's see. Dang. So we got 4 ways out of here. South, west, north.
No, we
Arrive
need
Sunday
to go there.
or London east. Arrive Saturday. That is within our time limit. It's £4,000 though, which we don't have.
We need to sell first.
We need to sell the guns.
So, hotel?
Let's spend the night. I was pickpocketed in New York. I trusted to my unstealable wallet. I seized the thief's hand, waited intending to pounce upon the departing figure.
I trusted my unstealable wallet.
I trusted in my unstealable wallet to keep me safe. It worked charmingly, bringing the thief a copper just as they were running away. The yank of the elastic sudden and severe enough to lay them flat. I went over to crown victory. I snatched back my purse and marched triumphantly away. Until, once around the corner, I collapsed with a deep sigh of relief. A valet who loses his wallet is no valet at all. The shock passed, and I made my way back to our hotel before anything more untoward could befall my person. This English.
Yeah.
Let's wait here a bit for the market to open.
Yeah. Well,
We can sell guns. Oh,
Yes.
it's not a hefty profit, but it's a profit. I don't think we have enough money.
we do. It's 4,000, right?
Yeah, but
Let's sell that one.
let's sell the buffalo hide. And we can't fix this, can
Well, we can sell the seasickness pills.
We need to sell something else. This takes 2 places.
Yeah, let's sell that one.
This one?
Or the neck cushion. Let's see which one brings up more. The neck cushion.
Sell that. I have 2 briefcases.
Yes.
Very good bargaining, Passepartout. Plan or explore?
Plan. London.
London. For £1,000.
Negotiated. They're asking for 950, which would leave us with too little to afford the ticket.
It departs tomorrow at noon.
Yes, and how much? Okay, but
4,000.
but how many days? It's a Saturday, Wednesday.
Arrive Saturday, so that's 3-4 days.
That's within our limit, so let's just stay it. What does a bank do?
Explore, get more money.
Okay, let's see.
We don't have to. Explore?
Yeah.
I don't think we need more money. I walked the streets a while, discovering the possibilities for how we might make progress.
Yeah.
Relationships with fog have strengthened slightly. Hotel?
Yeah. And then depart.
And then we're off. We passed an anxious night. With our 80-day deadline looming, every sunset seemed to carry extra weight. As night fell, I afforded my master every service. I spent a few hours walking around.
No, let's go to the master because we don't want to get the chance of robbed.
Let's get the dude happy.
Yes. And now we depart.
We must make haste. Oh, 1 suitcase. Hire extra space? We can, actually. Boom.
We left New York aboard the Henrietta, an old Confederated airship, converted to a transatlantic mail carrier. We could reach London in 3 days, barring any unexpected delay.
Well,
Wait, just wait. Adventure Fog expected back shortly.
looks like we're gonna make this.
The ocean tore along beneath us. I enjoyed talking to no one. There was nothing I needed to know. No one to charm, flatter, or beguile into giving us aid. There was only the wind and the tide. And we could control neither. Passepartout, my master demanded. Make us go faster, if you would. I approached the captain. I went to talk to the boiler attendant. I ignored his advice. I approached the captain.
I approached the captain.
Faster, you say? It can be done, but it would destroy the engines. We want no risk, no danger. Then I promise you, we will be in London in 2 more days.
Nice.
Monsieur Fogg looked out of the observation deck windows with perfect calm, as though we were not, with every passing moment, drawing closer and closer to London. My nerves were in shreds, and I was nearly chewing the rails with anticipation. I spent the remaining time watching every possible danger, ironing, embarking on the writing of this account, watching every possible danger. One eye on the crew, the other on the ship, ready to react to the slightest trouble. But nothing broke the peacefulness of our day. I mean, we've been drowning with one of those things.
Yeah,
It's not weird to be... Oh, look.
Let's don't give a fuck.
Oh, we'd headed at the airship dock in Hyde Park and felt for the first time in 75 days the feel of English soil under our shoes. At long last, we had returned to London and in time to win the wager.
That we do. What could go wrong?
Yes.
Nice.
Really?
Day 75 with £25 left.
Hey, we won the wager. That means we get a lot of money, eh? We won.
Nicely done, nicely done.
So.
Very good, very good. First time I did it, I didn't make it.
Really?
I took 90 days.
Wow. That's why I said go to America.
Oh man, you made a giant detour. You wanted to go to Auckland.
Yeah, I know.
I don't have a globe here, but
I know.
if,
But I bet
we were coming from Russia, right? And we ventured south below the, how do you call it in English, Evenaar?
Yes, I know, but
We
that was...
went from the northern hemisphere
was
to the southern hemisphere.
Yeah, but...
And we continued on into Indonesia. And did we even go to Australia or did we not? Manila. We stranded
No.
in Manila, did we?
We didn't, yeah, but we did not go to Australia.
No, we were in Manila. And you wanted to go further south.
Yeah, because then
That
the
is
ground
a
is small.
way longer way around the world as we did now. Because you're going further south and London is in the northern hemisphere.
Yeah, but I didn't want to risk the war in Russia.
Which war? There was no war in Russia.
They give the route we had. They actually had warnings like don't go there.
Don't go to Russia. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true.
So,
But I think we
But
had,
I
we had
also-
some more advices where we shouldn't go, which we did.
yeah, it's true.
But that's nice. A return.
I seized my master by the collar and threw him into one of the steam carriages idling on the banks of the Serpentine in Hyde Park. There is no need for such unseemly haste, Passepartout, my master noted, but I was a man possessed. The carriage barely shuddered to a steam hissing stop before I dragged my master from his seat and up to the steps to the imposing doors of the Reform Club. I released him only when we reached the great saloon, where my master's erstwhile friends, my master's 5 antagonists, the last one.
My master's 5 antagonists stood from their chairs, gaping in an attitude of great shock.
Monsieur Fogg only straightened a little and said in his calm voice, "Gentlemen, here I am." The room erupted into cheers. Where had the crowd come from? And I staggered to the nearest chair. The first one.
Where had this crowd come from?
Had they followed us inside from the street? I had scarcely noted them. I realized as though a spell had suddenly broken that we had succeeded.
We had succeeded. And my master had won 20,000 pounds.
With the 4,000 we began with and our remaining funds, it was a profit of over 16,000. Hardly a meager sum. My heart began to beat again, and I saw for the first time the grand interiors of the Reform Club, the crowds who had forced their way into the club, the second one.
The crowds who had forced their way into the club.
To witness the momentous occasion, a journalist in a dark blue bonnet caught my eye. "And you must be the loyal valet, Passepartout," she said. "How can you possibly know that? I do not believe we have been introduced," the second one.
I do not believe we have been introduced, you remarked.
All of London has been feverishly
Feverishly
following Phileas Fogg's progress in the papers. She swept her gaze over me and scribbled furiously in her notebook. "Your master will be tomorrow's headline, or I'll eat my hat. I am quite overwhelmed. He will not enjoy fame, I think." The first one.
I'm quite overwhelmed, I admitted.
I am not surprised, she agreed. "You should sit down."
One of the club butlers was just taking from our case the curious black glass cube, which I am very curious about.
Uh-huh.
To go above the bar, I think, he murmured. A most fine souvenir of your adventures, Monsieur Fogg. Sir. I looked quite fine here.
And I smiled with pride. I pushed my way through to Monsieur Fogg, who had nearly been swallowed by congratulatory crowds. You have won the bet, Monsieur, I told him, and seized my master by the hand and shook it, as though saying it aloud once more would make it more real. The first one.
I seized my master by the hand and shook it as though we were two equals, and not merely master and servant.
Monsieur Fogg pressed my hand warmly and did not remark even once upon the impropriety of my gesture. Indeed, though his cool gaze did not so much as waver or soften, I believe he welcomed the chance to shake my hand. Any gentleman would be fortunate to call you his valet, and you have been a worthy companion to me besides, Monsieur Fogg said, and I knew that from him there could be no higher praise. Mr. Fogg, the blue-bonneted journalist cried, interrupting our conversation. What next for the great adventurer Phileas Fogg and his loyal valet Passepartout? My master looked at me. I laughed wildly. We will circumnavigate the globe again, of course, only in the other direction. I looked around at faces of the assembled crowd and quirked an eyebrow. Anyone care to make a wager? Monsieur Fogg refrained from rolling his eyes. I believe he said with great deliberation that tonight I will have supper and go to bed. Come, Passepartout, it grows late.
Yes,
Monsieur Fogg, I said and followed. Your journey around the world is complete!
Woot!
Yes!
Nicely done! 75 days! 25 quid left though.
No, we have 20,025 quid. We won the wages, so we have 20,000. Hey!
So we did. So we did. Very nice, very nice. I think we'll get some statistics. Yes.
Celebrating Englishman Phileas Fogg wins round the world wager. Journey completed in 75, despite kidnapped by Madras nuns, sinking airship off the coast of Singapore, and American train robbers. Visited 22 of the
Traveled 26,000 miles.
Airships. Finishing balance. Hey. Traveled. Wow. Wow.
Spent 24,000. Dang, girl. Here, see what I mean? See what I mean? See what I mean? See what we did there?
Yep.
That was quite. You wanted to go to the South Pole, didn't you?
Yes, secretly I did.
Yeah, look here how we went. We went from north to south.
Okay, the next time we do this, I want to go to...
Auckland.
No, I want to go to Cairo first and then to Auckland. We're going...
I have tried going east, but I didn't get any routes.
Well, let that be a challenge.
Well, we tried, because we didn't went to Paris first. We went to which was it? North of London. We went to the north of London first before we.
Now we can check here. If it goes back to.
Okay.
Let's see. No, you have to wait. Here. We were
We went north first.
And then we went.
And I've tried that before to go east or to Iceland, but it wouldn't let me. I think the game is meant to be played from west to east. You did very well. 26,490 miles.
Pretty cool. In 75 days.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I mean, with airships in those days, there weren't airplanes like now. I mean, if we
but
if we would do it now, we could.
Circumnavigate the globe. I think you can do that in 24 hours, maybe a little bit more.
No.
Because you have the time switch as well, eh?
Yeah, but still, airplanes don't go. They go to different countries, so you have to keep that in mind.
Yeah, but
too.
I think you can go from London to Singapore straight.
Yes.
And I think you can go from Singapore to Sydney or Auckland. And from there to Honolulu or
United States.
United States. And from there, maybe a flight within the United States, and then from wherever in the United States back to London.
Mm-hmm.
It might take more than 24 hours, I'm not sure. There's a record for the man who had the longest birthday. Did you know that?
Yeah, they traveled on purposely to make his birthday longer.
Yeah,
I know.
He planned that.
It was like,
he had a birthday of...
what is your life goal? Make the longest birthday. Really?
Yeah, but he had a birthday of like 30 something hours.
Yeah, whoop-de-doo.
Hey.
Yeah, like, that's your life goal.
Long live the jet lag.
I'm like really thinking like, really, that's your life goal.
Well, I guess the man had made enough money. Hey, but we didn't went to Pitcairn Island, eh?
Nope.
We didn't. We did go to Honolulu, though.
Yeah.
I had some bad experiences in Honolulu in this game.
Well, this time it wasn't. It was like a paradise.
Yeah, it was like a paradise.
But
That looks pretty okay-ish. How many miles is it? Or how many kilometers is it around the world in a straight line? It's 20,000? 22,000? I think it's 22,000 kilometers.
But I would like to try this again. And then, like I said, I would like to this time not skip Africa and those countries. Because right now we didn't complete.
We didn't even touch the Middle East.
No, we didn't. I would like to do it again and let's see what stories there are there.
Oh, there are lots of stories.
Yeah, that's the fun of this game. It's not. I mean, now you played it, but actually, you didn't complete the game. You only completed this part.
Yeah, well, I think it's not playable infinitely, but there are a lot of different outcomes. That is true. You could make. I think you could make it so that you visit every. How do you call it? Ports or whatever. Cities.
Continents.
All cities that are in this game. It'll tell here on the screen how much cities there are.
Yeah, but you wouldn't make it in 80 days.
No, of course you wouldn't.
But
169 cities in this game.
yeah.
So you can try to go for that. Or you can try arriving with more money than we went.
That would
with.
be pretty cool too. That will really be the trading.
We
really
can try
check the
the-
trading.
We can
parts.
try the shortest route around the planet and still circumnavigate it, or the longest route. We were a good way on our way to the longest route. If we were to go to Auckland and the South Pole,
Yeah.
that would be really long. But yeah,
But what also would be fun is to one time just take the Jules Verne book. I have it, by the way. And let's try to really do it as the book did it. That would also be
is
cool.
it possible?
Yes, it is. I already checked the
Okay.
countries.
Okay,
It is possible.
interesting.
Because the book of,
Oh,
of
maybe there's an Easter egg in this game.
that might be a possibility. Because it's based on Jules Verne.
Yeah, it's on the book Around the World in
And
80
I
Days.
have the book. I have the series of his spectacular traveling. That's the series I was talking about. Those are the series with the blue cover and the elephant. They are all about the special journeys, like going to the bottom of the sea and the center of Earth.
Right.
Because they're all very special journeys.
Okay. Well, shall we finish this one
Yes.
and end this part 2 on
Yes.
this part for now?
Yes.
So yeah, well, that was all you. This was your first try at this game. You did pretty well. Congratulations.
Thank you. And 5 days to spare.
Yeah, even so, and £25.
Yeah. But hey.
Okay, let's end this.
Yes.
I'll stop the stream here. Ciao.